Why are deaths increasing in Turkey? Almost no elderly people die in their beds anymore, even if they want to. Family members call the ambulance, followed by intensive care intubation, convalescent ward, and the grave. And then you get lost. There is no martyrdom pronouncer, no reciter of the Holy Quran, no opportunity to see the last moment, no opportunity to say goodbye, no opportunity for spouses to look at each other for the last time. After the ambulance is called, it's all over and you lie down and go away when you examine the tables and graphs of the Turkish Statistical Institute TÜİK on births, deaths, and diseases. You will see that they are fragmented and therefore not coherent. As a result, TurkStat does not allow those who govern the country, especially those in charge, academics, journalists, and the public, to take a snapshot of the country at a glance. At a time when every data is instantly recorded on e-government, it is not possible to understand why TurkStat waits 4 to 5 months to release some data. It is also a mystery as to whether the spread of time from March to June is an old tradition or a secret that no one knows or is not wanted to know, since the only source we have is the Turkish Statistical Institute TÜİK. A closer look at its data on deaths in Turkey reveals that something is not going well. Compared to 2023, deaths dropped considerably in 2024. You can say how nice about this, but that would lead us to the wrong conclusion. The basic question is, why did the annual death toll rise from 436,000 in 2019 before Corona to 489,000 in 2024? It is possible to get away with saying that the population has increased. The country has aged and therefore deaths have increased. But the situation does not seem to be based on such a justification. Let's add what former Health Minister Feridun Koca said during the Corona theater process and continue. The sad thing is what awaits those who have had the disease with the damage left by the disease. Although it cannot be determined what kind of side effects will occur in people who have had the disease over the next 3 years, it is reported that 3 to 4 times the current death toll is expected. This is an extremely sad and grave picture and expectation. Since it is out of the question for those who do not die at the time of the disease to die after the disease. If you change the former minister's phrase people who have had the disease double quotes to people who have received the corona vaccine double quotes, the issue suddenly becomes clear. Let's say that the reason for the excessive increase into 0202021222 is corona intubations and vaccinations. The reason for the increase in 2023 is the February 2023 earthquake. But what about the increase of 53,000 people between 2019 and 2024? Part of this is due to the increase in deaths in old age in a growing elderly population, but this is still not enough to explain it. There must be another explanation. Let's take a look at TurkStat's table of causes of death for 2019-2024. *** causes of death %. 2019-2024 diseases of the circulatory system 36.8. 36 benign and malignant tumors 18.4. 16.3 diseases of the respiratory system. 12.9 15 diseases of the internal glands. Nutrition and metabolism 4.8 external causes of injury and poisoning 3.7. 3.9 diseases of the nervous system and sense organs 4.6. 3.4 other 13.4 14.2 unknown 5.96.3. The table shows a decrease in cancer and a significant increase in respiration. There are 2 unknowns, unknown and other, which add up to 20.5%. Meaning that 1 in 5 deaths is caused by other and unknown, even if you define other as conditions not included here. What does unknown mean? Old age deaths? However, almost no elderly people die in their beds anymore, even if they want to. Family members call the ambulance, followed by intensive care intubation, convalescent ward, and the grave. And then you get lost. There is no martyrdom pronouncer, no reciter of the Holy Quran, no opportunity to see the last moment, no opportunity to say goodbye, no opportunity for spouses to look at each other for the last time. After the ambulance is called, everything is over and you lie and go away. Now even deathbed has become a lie. Isn't that sad? You cannot be born at home. You cannot marry at home. You cannot die at home. You cannot die in peace with your parents, nor from a medical error, nor from intensive treatment. You cannot fulfill your religious obligations, nor does the data help you to take a picture of your country. However, it is a fact that being born, studying, having a profession, settling down, maintaining a family, having children, living healthily and dying in Turkey is a big problem. The country has aged, fertility has plummeted, diseases have skyrocketed, deaths have increased. Marriage has become more difficult. The natural duty of women has been destroyed due to the insistence of the ruling power. Men have been demonized, professions have ended, morality and trust have become irrelevant, and finally, human beings have been wasted. Now even deathbed has become a lie. Isn't that sad? You cannot be born at home. You cannot marry at home. You cannot die at home. It is clear that you died neither in peace with your parents, nor due to a medical error, nor due to intensive treatment. In our last issue, our editor-in-chief, Mr. Kamalzer, wrote a short and ironic article titled "How to Reduce the Population Since Everything is Being Done the Other Way Around." Encouraged by him, we say this based on the last few official statements. It is not enough for civil servants to work part-time from birth until the child reaches primary school age. They should not come to work either, as long as you do not treat housewives as human beings. Civil servants alone are enough to increase the population of this country, despite the act of adoption, which Islam rejects. Male and female civil servants who adopt children will be given the right to work part-time after adoption, just as they do during childbirth. Since the West has developed by doing the opposite of what Islam says, let us continue on this path. The foster family system developed instead of adoption should also be abandoned.